Today we will briefly discuss the goals of the patent system. But first, we must understand what the patent system actually is. A patent grants an exclusive and enforceable legal right to the making, using, or selling of an invention for a set period of time. They are not automatic, requiring an application to the Patent Office. Generally, anything which involves human creativity and is practically useful can potentially be patentable. There are, however, some exclusions. There are two types of patents. Number 1, a standard patent, and number 2, an innovation patent. A standard patent provides longer and more complete protection, whilst the innovation patent is designed for incremental developments, hence a shorter period of protection. There are two main goals of the patent system. Number 1, to encourage innovation, and number 2, to encourage the spread of knowledge. Let's see how this works using a hypothetical example. This is Scarlett. Scarlett owns a sunglass company. She has thought of a new way to improve colour perception in sunglasses. This improvement will also offer wearers greater sun damage protection. It will cost her a lot of money and time to develop the idea, but it may help her get an edge over her competitors. It would also be beneficial to consumers and the overall health of society. The problem is, she knows that her competitor Bill can copy the idea with little cost or effort. Why should she have to bear the costs with no greater reward than Bill? Scarlett decides the cost to her is not worth it and does not bother with furthering the idea. This is where the patent system comes into play. As discussed, patents ensure the inventor has an exclusive right to their invention for a set time. So if Scarlett had patent protection, Bill would not be able to use her idea until the patent ends, preventing what is known as free riding. This means she would have the ability to recover the costs, essentially being rewarded for her innovation. Had this been the case, Scarlett probably would have developed the idea. So you can see how the patent system achieves the first goal of encouraging innovation. Some may argue that patents restrict the flow of knowledge, which yes, they do, but only for the set time of the patent. The inventors are actually encouraged to publish and spread the new knowledge widely once the patent ends. This is achieved through the disclosure requirements in Section 40 of the Patents Act 1990. In return for the legal monopoly, patent holders must describe the technology well enough to allow anyone to replicate it once the term ends. This disclosure requirement exemplifies how the second goal of spreading knowledge is achieved. But why is innovation so important? Won't it just happen if it is really needed? Do we need to spread knowledge? Well, greater innovation and knowledge has a number of spillover benefits. These are social, economic, and greater development. First, social. That is, many of the inventions are socially valuable. For example, Scarlett's invention is not just a new and useful product, but it also improves community health. It does this by providing greater protection for the eyes, reducing eye disease, and thereby meeting social needs. Secondly, there are economic benefits. Although many innovations, such as Scarlett's, may traditionally attract academic recognition, patents add a financial incentive, through both increased investment by private investors and the ability to recoup costs after production. It especially assists smaller companies and reduces the need for government funding. This encourages innovation in areas such as medical research, which are typically less commercially viable. Lastly, patents encourage further development and decrease doubling up of research. Through the knowledge disclosure requirement, secrecy is decreased, meaning others can eventually build upon the shared knowledge. So in summary, there are two main goals: to encourage innovation and spread knowledge. The spillover benefits are social, economic, and greater development.
Created using Powtoon.